What's going on, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Got the double espresso on deck. Cheers, by the way. Happy Sunday. Hope you're all having a great day. It actually snowed here in Jersey last night. We got a couple inches. I don't know where you guys are watching this video from, but let me know if it snowed last night. Let me know where you're watching this video from in the comments. I'm actually curious where you guys are at in the United States, abroad. Let me know what city, what state you're watching this video from. And yeah, let's dive into it. Let's break down 5 companies, 5 stocks I'm watching this week, all of which are reporting earnings, and we have to go over what to expect in terms of the economy, big events coming up, and overall, I just want to break down where my head's at. So guys, hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates, my private Discord. All of that is linked down below on Patreon, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon, and it's also in the comments. And now, cheers again. Let's get into it. So we had a little bit of a rocky day on Friday in the stock market. We had most of the indexes go down, actually. I think actually everyone went red. The Russell went down 1.5%. SPY went down 1.1%. The Dow went down 0.5%. And QQQ went down 2%. I thought for some reason, maybe the Dow somehow went green on Friday, but no, I mean, we got nailed across the board, and that's after SPY hit all-time highs on Thursday. I think Thursday morning we hit all-time highs. Yeah, we hit 691, or actually Thursday afternoon, we hit 691 on SPY. Then it lost $10 into close. It dumped about 1.5% from that all-time high. So we did get hit on Friday, guys. We're starting to pull back a little bit, but is it the end of the uptrend? Is the bull market over? Obviously not. Obviously not. You know, SPY still well above the 180 SMA. It looks healthy here on the 4-hour chart. And QQQ looks pretty good as well. So it's not the end of the world. I'm curious to see how we play out this week. You know, last week we had the Fed funds, the rate cut. You know, we had a lot of earnings. Now that the dust is settling, if you will, I'm curious to see how this week plays out. And this week we have earnings as well, and we also have some big jobs data coming out. Let me actually show you that first. Then we'll dive into these earnings, guys, which we have Micron to cover, Nike, FedEx to name a couple, and some more here. So make sure you all stick on throughout. So on Tuesday the 16th, which is 2 days away, guys, we are getting some critical data out of, well, the United States, the economy, regarding the economy. At 8:30 a.m. East Coast time on the 16th, which again is on Tuesday, we're getting the average hourly earnings month over month, core retail sales, non-farm employment change, retail sales, and the unemployment rate, which, guys, Let's take a look at these estimates. They're not looking too pretty. So the average hourly earnings, that is projected to go up a little bit. So that is good. 0.3% forecast versus 0.2% from last month, right? And that shows essentially the change in the price businesses pay for labor, excluding the farming industry. And core retail sales month over month, that's projected at 0.2%. 0.3% was the number from last month, and that's the change in the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. And this is what you really want to pay attention to. The unemployment rate, which is at 4.4% as of now, and we're going to get the number on Tuesday, and that forecast is for 4.5%. So the unemployment rate is projected to go up month over month to 4.5%, and the non-farm employment change, the forecast is 50,000, right? And last month, it was 119,000. So this is the change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry. So that's a big drop month over month, for the non-farm employment change. The labor market's a little rocky right now, which is obviously one key component that Jerome Powell was talking about last week. And Yeah, I mean, a big reason why they cut rates, it's got to be because of the labor market. Well, one of the reasons, right? It's got to be a big reason. And yeah, it's not looking too pretty coming up this upcoming week. But, if that comes in better than expected, who knows? That could be a positive catalyst here. Either way, those are some things to expect for this upcoming week, again on Tuesday the 16th. And with that being said, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let me actually get some coffee. Cheers again, guys. And let's dive into these companies. Micron, ticker MU, is a must-watch stock for this week as the company is reporting earnings on, let's check the date, the 17th, which is on Wednesday after the bell. And Micron's already taken a hit heading into these earnings. The stock's down from 264. We hit that high on the 10th a couple days ago. Now we're down at 241, so we're down 8-9% into these earnings on Wednesday. And the chart looks great, doesn't it? The chart looks freaking phenomenal, guys. If you want me to be honest here, if you want me to be 100% frank, however the heck you say that, the chart looks freaking amazing. But are these earnings going to be good enough to continue this momentum? That's the $1 million question at this point, man. We hit all-time highs. Now we're cooling off. We're maintaining the uptrend. 180 SMA is holding. But are these numbers enough? EPS estimate $3.91. That's what analysts are expecting on average versus $1.79 from last year. Think about that. On revenue of $12.84 billion versus $8.71 billion from last year. That's up 47% year over year, guys. So Micron's going to grow revenue like crazy. But again, is it enough? Is it enough to hold the performance here? The stock's up well over 300% off the lows from April. We hit $58, guys. We hit $58 a share. Now we're at $240. Insane. But one thing that is bullish is the fact that the stock actually tanked in November from 257 down to 193. It tanked 25% like that in a week, and it recovered. That's bullish. It recovered very quickly, retook all-time highs. That goes to show the strength, and now we're seeing a cool off again. Let's see, man. Earnings are coming up Wednesday. MU. And Nike's another one. I've been on record hating on Nike. I'm not the biggest fan, although I am rocking a hat. It's funny, right? I have a lot of Nike clothes, Nike socks. I love the socks. The shoes, I'm not a big fan of the shoes anymore. I used to like them a lot. Now I'm more of an on-cloud guy. But it's funny, I hate on Nike, yet I buy their products. But I think the business, the stock, is a little shaky, But the reality is, it's actually breaking out. Isn't that crazy? Nike stock is breaking out for the first time in months. We're back over these moving averages. We have a golden cross. Hey, I mean, we're seeing some rotation into these stocks that have been beaten up all year. Nike's one of them. If we're looking at these, clothing kind of consumer-oriented stocks like a Lulu, a lot of these have gotten hit all year. Now they're starting to creep up, and we just got Lulu's earnings. That stock ripped. I'm pretty sure Nike ripped after Lulu's earnings. So we're starting to get some momentum into the new year. Now, do I think Nike's going to go to $100? Am I going long Nike? Heck no. Absolutely not. But I am eyeing it up, and you guys probably know. I bought puts. I'm not in them anymore, but I was in the $70 puts a couple months ago, like 2-3 months ago. Got out of those, made a beautiful profit. But at this point, it's like I just don't think Nike has a lot of growth left in them. I don't like the turnaround story here, so I'm probably not going to buy the stock again. But I might short it again. I might trade it here and there potentially. When I say I'm not going to buy it, I'm saying like as a long-term investment. It's not going to happen. But hey, it is reversing. We'll see. Maybe this has some legs. It could be a trade. But We'll see. I'm not too excited for it. I'm not too confident, but the charts are pointing to a pullback. Earnings are on Thursday after the bell. Analysts have them doing 38 cents EPS versus 78 cents from last year. So the company's struggling, guys, on revenue of, let's see, 12.21 billion versus 12.35 billion from last year. That's down 1.2% year over year. So Nike's not growing. They're shrinking, in fact, on the top line, and EPS is cutting in half year over year. Oof, I'm not liking that. Let's see what the 3-year chart looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's garbage. This chart looks terrible. Nike's now at the same level it was at a decade ago. That's never a good sign, guys. So again, I'm not a big fan of the stock, the company, right? The fundamentals. But I'll keep buying the products. I'll buy some more socks, some more hats, some more clothes, maybe some shoes. But that goes to show, and I've said this before 100 times, I'll say it again, just because you buy a Nike hat, you see the hat right here? Just because you buy a Nike hat, just because you buy Nike socks, I'm not going to show you my socks, but I have Nike socks on, doesn't mean you go buy Nike stock. Doesn't mean you go buy the stock of that company. It doesn't necessarily work like that. So FedEx is number 3. Let me show you this one, guys. FedEx has been ripping the last couple of months, and their stock's coming up, or earnings rather, they're coming up on the 18th, also on Thursday, same day as Nike. And this one, dare I say this, guys, I think it's priced to perfection. It is. I mean, look, this stock's pretty much back to all-time highs. It was down and out for a little bit for a couple years, and kudos to them, man. They climbed out of the hole. FedEx is pushing 300, $300 again. And it's all coming down to these earnings to see, or, to determine whether or not we get the $300 again. We're at 284 right now. So the bulls are alive and well in FedEx. Earnings per share, the estimate is $4.11 versus $4.05 from last year on revenue of $22.8 billion versus $21.97 billion from last year. That would be up 3.8% year over year. So earnings, not bad. EPS, it's growing. Revenue's growing 4% year over year. But is that enough to keep these gains on FedEx? Is it enough? I don't know. I'm not too confident considering how overbought it is, honestly, heading into earnings, but we'll see. That's FDX. CCL is another one, Carnival Cruise Line, which I do like heading into earnings here. I think, it's one that we called out about a month ago. I think it could be a runner here, guys. We were downtrending, pulling back, whatever you want to call it, for a good 2-3 months, from 33 a share down to about 24 a share. We dropped 23%. And you guys can see, where do we hold? Where do we find support? And now we're bouncing off of it right around 24, 25 a share, which was the high from the middle of June. So we held that spot as support. Now we're bouncing. We're breaking through these moving averages. Very bullish here on these charts. So I think this could have legs, especially if earnings are strong. Earnings are coming out on Friday in the morning. So we have all week. We have all week until we get CCL's earnings. So this could be a runner maybe before the earnings. And we had a huge run on, I think, Thursday. Let's double check that day. Yeah, we had a huge pop on Thursday. The stock went from 26 to 28, $6 or 6% rather. Big move there. It consolidated on Friday. So let's see if we get that momentum to continue tomorrow. So CCL EPS estimate 25 cents versus 14 cents from last year. Pretty good. We can see revenue 6.38 billion versus 5.94 billion from last year. Revenue growth is projected at 7.5% year over year. Honestly, man, not too bad for CCL. And I do expect that to potentially reaccelerate in the coming quarters. We shall see. So that's CCL. And last but not least, guys, CarMax. And by the way, shameless plug, if you guys have not checked out the Patreon yet, if you haven't considered joining yet, check it out. Shameless plug. If you guys want to see what I'm doing in my portfolio, what stocks I'm buying, how I build a portfolio week in, week out with $1,000 a week, and there's a private Discord, All of that's linked down below. All of that's on Patreon, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. It's pinned in the comments. You can't miss it. If you guys want to join, I'll see you in there. And cheers to everybody that's been joining. Shout out to all the new members. You guys are awesome. So CarMax, KMX is this week, and oh boy, has CarMax been destroyed. CarMax has seen multiple scenarios where the stock has seen aggressive gap downs throughout 2025. I mean, the first one was back in April. Stock gap down from 79 to 63 on earnings. That was a 20% drop. Another drop in September after another quarter reported. The stock went from 59 all the way down to $45. Oof, 25% drop. Then we got another drop, guys. About a month and a half ago in November, early November, we went from what? $41 to $30 a share. 26% drop, and that wasn't on earnings. I don't know what the catalyst was on that. Let's see if I can go back and see. Okay, CarMax terminated their CEO. So, okay, whenever I see that, I'm always like, all right, the company is going through struggles. CarMax CEO Bill Nash to step down. David McCrate named interim president, CEO, blah, blah, blah. So maybe they've, I don't track this company too much. Maybe they've gotten a new CEO by now, but it looks like that news came out a month ago. The gap has filled since that point, but now we're kind of right back to where we were before this CEO stepping down news in terms of the stock price. So we're at $40 a share. If this breaks, if we're really able to break through 41, 42, I think this could fill the gap maybe to 45. Maybe then we could start to see more upside. But who knows, man? This company's obviously, struggling. It's in the gutter right now. Is it going to get out? Let's see. EPS estimate, not looking too great. 31 cents versus 81 cents from last year on revenue of $5.64 billion versus $6.22 billion from last year, down 9.4% projected year over year. That's pretty rough, guys. And honestly, if they drop another dud on earnings, if this company's earnings are terrible again, this could easily see another leg down, especially now that we've seen such momentum build up from that $30 stock price. Now we're at $41. We're up 35% in the last month, right? After that CEO news. So if we get bad earnings this week, this progress, if you will, from the CEO stepping down in terms of the stock price, it's going to get erased. So earnings are on Thursday, it looks like, here for CarMax. So keep your eyes on them. KMX. And yeah, pretty much that's it, guys. As always, do your own research. Hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We have a big week coming up here, earnings-wise, labor market-wise. A lot's going on. And don't forget to join the Patreon if you want to be part of the private Discord, see how I build a portfolio with $1,000 a week. All of that is linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you in the next video.